Still game time decision for a player or two, or have you got a set lineup in
Nope,
mind?
on
this morning?
defense, we got Clayson and Harp. They're going to be in. Weidman out. Burrow out. And with the forwards, I have to wait till after warm up for Pyatt. Or I'll find out in about 20 minutes, so I have to go back.
Can you talk about the importance of the rolling of four lines that you've had a consistent method of throughout most of the
Yeah, well,
year?
first of all, I change the lines all the time, so depending on who's doing what kind of matchups work and don't work. And it'll be the same this series, and with the depth that they've got, we got no choice but to have four lines that are going. If we're stuck going down to three lines, we don't have a chance. So I think it's important that we recognize that, but we've done it all year, so we haven't been much of a shortening the bench kind of guy. So and that's one of the reasons I think why the guys had a lot of juice against Boston, and you look at the overtime there in the sixth game, our guys were real fresh and real hard, and we didn't allow them one single shot. So I think everybody contributed because everybody had juice. It's there.
Sorry, thanks. Got fooled. The Rangers have a reputation of if banging the net or crashing the net, particularly
Yeah.
Chris Kreider. Do you expect them to be in the crease around Craig Anderson?
Nothing different. Nothing different than any other team. I think Boston came crashing at us. I think that's what playoffs are about. Everybody wants to get to the net because that's where it pays off. And there's rarely some nice goals. They're usually ugly goals. And you need to have your players there. We need to have our players around their goalie, and they need to have their players around ours. So I'm not expecting anything different.
Anything further, or are we short today?
My goodness.
Huh?
Yeah, it's 4 days now. It's about time we get going. It's like a soap opera for 4 days now.
Chris and Al.
Just wondering, Guy, in your estimation, how much better your lineup is with Clark MacArthur as an active player than when he wasn't available to you?
Oh my God. Well, don't take my words. Last summer, we were talking, even with Pierre, we were talking about if a few players were injured, what it would do to our lineup and what we could do to prepare for that. And then the first thing Pierre says, well, if MacArthur's out again, we're in major trouble again. And then training camp happens and he was out. So, I mean, that's how big he's perceived to be. And I saw it. It's we were lucky to have Dzingel to replace a part of what he could do. But we knew, top two line guy, you're not going to find that in the corner of the street. And so it was a big hole for us all year, but it gave us the chance to develop a guy like Dzingel. A guy like Pyatt need to take a part of that also. But you never replace a guy like that, and especially inside our room. His intangibles are up the roof, and the players recognize that. So it wasn't just replacing a player on our top two lines. It was a guy on our power play, as you saw the last series. He's probably a big reason, if you add Burrows, two guys coming in that give us the luxury now of having two power plays. You can't have a good power play percentage if you don't have two good power plays. And that's what we were struggling with all year. We were missing one or two guys to be able to separate our guys into two good power plays, which we were able to do for the first time of the year in the Boston series. And that's what Mac has given us, and Burrows being able to play on the other one. Now we have two equal power plays that can relay each other, and that's what happened in the last series. One scored, then it was the other one, then it was the other one, and it makes a gigantic difference, not just on power plays, but it's not just that player, it's the domino effect. If you have him on one line, then the other guy that was replacing him, goes down to the other line, and that creates the depth that you didn't have before. So it's not just that one guy that's missing, it's the domino effect that gives us the quality depth. And it's not just him. He was there, but then we went and got Stallberg, and we got Wingles, and and Burrows, and definitely when you look at our lineup right now compared to what we had last summer or after MacArthur got injured in training camp, it's night and day. That's for sure.
Coach, si on regarde la défensive des Rangers et on compare avec la défensive de Boston qui avait beaucoup de blessés, est-ce que ça change quelque chose? Eux autres sont complètement en santé. Est-ce que ça change quelque chose dans votre approche et dans votre façon de jouer contre eux?
Non, pas du tout. La seule chose, c'est que c'est une défensive qui, quand tu leur donnes un peu de temps, ils vont être capables de faire des transitions, des longues transitions avec des gars qui stretch. Puis c'est là que les Rangers sont très, très dangereux. Ils ont 4 lignes de joueurs. Tu sais, on l'a vu, Bergeron, puis Marchand, dernière série, qui partaient, qui ont eu des échappées et des 2 contre 1. Ben, ils ont 4 lignes de gars comme ça. Puis leurs 6 défenseurs sont capables de faire des transitions comme ça. Ce qui fait que ça rend la tâche très difficile en échec avant. Parce que c'est toujours ses talons, parce qu'à n'importe quel moment, ils peuvent avoir un échappé ou un 2 contre 1. Alors, c'est probablement le plus gros problème que pose cette équipe-là. C'est le fait que tu peux être dans leur zone, tu peux être dans leur face, mais 2 secondes après, ils sont partis, puis ils se créent de l'espace.
Justement, si on regarde la vitesse des Rangers, comment est-ce que vous trouvez que votre système défensif en particulier match-up contre eux?
Ben écoute, c'est sûr, quand on regarde dans cette saison, quand on a joué contre eux, on était bon. On a gagné 2 sur 3, puis l'autre, on était très bon. On l'a perdu, on a donné quelques buts. Je pense probablement notre gardien de but à ce moment-là, Kondo, c'était juste après Noël. Il y avait peut-être un petit peu trop de dinde. Mais le reste du match, je pense qu'on avait été très, très bon. Donc, notre match-up a été bon, mais ceci étant dit, on joue contre une équipe qui est largement favorite par rapport à nous. Alors, on est très conscient de ça. Alors, on ne va certainement pas prendre ça à la légère parce qu'on a eu quelques bons matchs contre eux. On sait très bien qu'ils viennent d'éliminer la première équipe de notre division. Puis que c'est une équipe qui aspire aux grands honneurs depuis plusieurs années. Donc, il y a beaucoup d'urgence, il y a beaucoup peut-être même d'impatience de leur côté de réussir ce qu'ils veulent depuis quelques années. Donc, c'est sûr qu'on est dans leur chemin en ce moment. Yes.
Players have role models they live up to and they watch, and they, I don't know if they model themselves after. To coaches, do you look at Alain Vigneault and a guy who's been through a lot in the NHL? Is it a guy that maybe you follow his career too?
Well, I've always respected him for sure. I coached against him in junior. He's from my neck of the woods too. So obviously he's one of those guys that I was happy that he had success in his career. We know each other. We're not beer buddies, but we know each other. And yes, I've always respected him, and I think he's always done a great job with his teams wherever he was, and he's a classy man. And so, in that respect, for sure. But I think right now we'll shake hands at some point, and that'll be after the series. But right now, it's I don't think it's about me against him. It's the Senators against the Rangers, and the same reason also when we look at the players. We often want to make this often what we see in basketball. LeBron James against Curry, and this guy against that guy, and now Broussard against Zibanejad, and in the end, it's 2 teams that are going at each other. It's not about individuals. Whether we isolate coaches or players, I think that's wrong because it's all about a group of individuals, and they're a really good team, and they've got really good players, and I think that we've earned our right to be here at the same time. And if you look at the players like Zibanejad and Broussard, for me it's clear it's a win-win situation for both teams. We were looking for a lefty center, they were looking for a righty center, and it worked out great for both teams. And so that's why, for me, I don't look at these things that way. It's a team against a team.